the atmosphere, and I'm sure it will be quite intriguing.
Thank you for the kind introduction. As you know, over the last few decades, the Cambridge area has been regularly plagued with the appearance of confusing disturbances and strange phenomena. Almost like clockwork, some environmental disturbance appears, affecting hundreds of people and driving them to distraction. On their face, these phenomena seem extremely puzzling. Examples include the appearance of piles of mysteriously colored papers, unusual quantum effects, people inexplicably bursting into song, or fomenting political movements. The spontaneous appearance of lasers and mazes, and the real-world relevance of the kind of reasoning that usually appears on job interviews. Attempts to explain these bizarre events using standard scientific theories have failed. There is a growing consensus that the previously neglected field of heuristic unphysics may afford the only reasonable theoretical framework. As I will show in this hour-long talk, non-computation techniques can be used to prove that these phenomena are easily explained. My goal in this project is to show that there are in fact no puzzles at all. It is merely a matter of better, more objective thinking. In this way, we can live happily in a world free from puzzles. I argue that a key to understanding and resolving the apparent paradoxes caused by these phenomena can be found in a thorough analysis of the atmosphere. But what is the atmosphere? I first encountered the atmosphere around 10 years ago when working on a project codenamed French Armada. My research then was in the field of applied chrono-klepto-enigmatic analysis. In fact, my group presented at that very conference. However, our results were inconclusive at that time. Then, it was not possible to resolve the enigmas we experienced. What my current studies have revealed is that those so-called puzzles were in fact mere shadows of their true selves. However, what we must do is consult a higher authority. I am going to share with you today how you too can go through the rest of the month, and indeed, the rest of your lives, in a happier, puzzle-free existence.
Well, that doesn't sound like very much fun.
Well, is that a question I heard? No. Okay, now continue. What the atmospheric analysis shows is that the way those problems that were formulated by the French Armada project 10 years ago They're far too simplistic. The key to success can be found in Rand's twin axioms. The first, existence is identity. The second, consciousness is identification. And so the common belief, popular a mere decade ago, was that we needed to use complicated logic to solve clues and piece a solution together. However, if consciousness is identification, then the solution is clear. Remain conscious longer. Let's see how an application of this principle can lead to the immediate resolution of a seemingly intractable problem. This is an example of the sort of problem encountered in the French Armada project 10 years ago. Now, you may think this is gibberish. However, by a judicious application of more consciousness, the answer becomes clear. The word lie has a synonym, fib. This fib clearly clues the Fibonacci sequence. From here, the implication is clear. You shift each letter in the string by an amount corresponding to the Fibonacci sequence. Modulo 26. And this so-called enigma reveals itself as nothing more than a wild goose chase.
But that kind of puzzle is 10 years old.
Yes. Well, I did say it was a rather simple example.
What about this puzzle that I saw yesterday? You see, now the word in parentheses is lies in French, which is fibs in English. So you shift only the even Fibonacci numbers, naturally. However, nobody likes to be left out, so we apply the shifts only to the odd letters. Don't forget the mod 26. Well, that was dissatisfying. The only thing left to do is apply a random anagram. English, translating again, and voila.
That makes no sense. Who are you?
Oh, nobody important. I do like to keep a low profile.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, my computer appears to have a virus.
Well, now that is very rude of you. It doesn't do to be so impolite. Besides, I've come so far to see you.
Me?
Oh, Johnny! You may be the most selfish person I know. To be honest, we need your help. We're somewhat swamped by puzzles. That one I showed you isn't the half of it. You see, it's because my world is leaking into your world. And in my world, we are all quite puzzling. We're all puzzling here.
I don't want to go among puzzling people.
Oh, but you can't help it. It's all puzzles here. I'm puzzling. You're puzzling. All of these folks are puzzling. They must be, otherwise they wouldn't have come here. Now, you see, the problem's only gotten worse, because now my friends have decided that it's much safer over here than back there. over, and I haven't seen them in months. They must have squeezed through some holes between home and MIT. If you're really serious about getting rid of the puzzles, you should talk to them. I think they can figure out how to fix things up again. But after there's a nice exodus, really. I don't blame them. Everyone is terrified of the beast, frankly. I don't know if you've met the Bandersnatch, but he can be kind of fruity. We'll just give him a wise birth and it's okay. But this beast, oh, it's just terrible. He won't even say their own poems anymore. It has those eyes and that burbling. Oh. Look at them run on their stuffy little legs.
What are you talking about?
So, knew something was up when the white rabbit went missing. We don't know where he's gone. But right afterwards, that monster started destroying everything. What you need to do is find my friends who are hiding out there. The thing is, I can't figure out how to convince them to come. Perhaps if you found a little bait, you could set a trap. You just have to look in the right place. If you go that direction, you may find one. And if you go that direction, you may find yet another. And if you go that direction, you might find a third.
What's in it for me?
The altruistic thing to do.
Altruism? Ugh.
Well, perhaps there are some people in the audience who would like to help. Quite delightful. Please do call if you need me. And if you'd really like to know, it went that way.
Who did?
The Jabberwock.
It did?
Did what?
Go that way?
Who did?
The Jabberwock.
What Jabberwock?
Didn't you just say?
Can you stand on your head?
Is this some kind of practical joke? I refuse to continue speaking to a bunch of puzzle philiacs.
This is an expected development. Given that our plenary speaker has quit the stage,
This is even worse than that.
I think the best course of action is to help this cat lady. You are the best experts in heuristic, unphysics, and non-computation techniques. And maybe we can use our knowledge to figure out how we find these friends she mentioned. Until we resolve this situation, we are going to delay the technical sessions. We still have a number of events scheduled for the weekend. Attendance at these is mandatory if you wish to be on the organizing committee for next year's conference. Regardless of what happens, the conference will run until Sunday at 6 p.m. Furthermore, we have scheduled a wrap-up romp session on Monday at noon. If that changes, we will let you know. Just as a reminder, before you go, please send one person from your delegation to pick up a registration packet. Which we're not lying about. Your packet contains information on how to access the secured area of the conference website. Thank you very much for attending the conference, or what's left of it. We will be in touch.